We appear to have a quorum, so I want to get started with our meeting today. As a preliminary matter, my name is Ken Bogrand, Chair of the Community Preservation Committee. Please permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Maria Zoda.
Here.
Dawn Hill-Holgate. I see
He's
Dawn.
connecting to audio right now.
Okay. Linda Williams.
She's having trouble. She may have to call my cell phone, Ken.
He
Okay.
couldn't hear us.
But
Good.
she's been in and out, so she's here, but
Tim Salvarino.
Here.
Diane Coombs.
Here.
John Trudell.
Here.
And I can't see whether or not Jack Gardner or Joe Topham are on.
Jack's on.
Jack is on, Joseph is not.
Okay. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Glenna,
Here,
Kathy.
here.
Okay. There are no anticipated speakers that I'm aware of for this morning's agenda. Good morning. This open meeting of the Community Preservation Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law and of all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you will find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting of the CPC is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website and identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all members are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials have been provided members of this. Somebody's video is on. All supporting materials have been provided. Members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. Public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda, but before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold till your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking, and remember to speak clearly in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourselves. After all members have spoken, the chair will afford any public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken at this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. I will now turn to the first item on the agenda, and that is the approval of the agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as circulated.
So moved.
So move.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Second by Jack. All those in favor by roll call. Maria,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Jack, Linda,
Yeah.
Kim,
Yes.
Diane, John.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the next item is the minutes of the November 17, 2020 meeting. Those minutes are circulated. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes? And if not, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as circulated.
So moved. To
Second.
approve.
Moved by Diane, seconded by Linda. All those in favor by roll call: Maria,
Aye.
Dawn,
Aye.
Jack, Linda,
Yep.
Tim,
Yes.
Diane,
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. There was no correspondence that was shown on the agenda, but Glenna circulated a letter yesterday from the American Legion thanking the board for allowing the balance of the funds to be applied to the restoration of the American Legion Hall. With respect to the next item on the agenda, the next item is fund requisitions, items A through K. There is just one check on item J. It says Nantucket Interfaith. It shows Janice Carrero as the sponsor, as the committee member. It should show my name, but it doesn't make any difference to the total. I would entertain a motion to approve the fund requisitions.
Mr. Chairman,
as proposed.
before we vote, I just have a question. On H and I, it just says open space. It doesn't say what project it was. I wanted to know what project it was for.
Surfside, paper roads, things like that, yard sale. A myriad of stuff. These are old ones from, I forget, 10 and I forget another year. 10 and 12, yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
It's running through the planning board.
with that clarification, I would entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Linda, second,
Second.
Second.
by John. All those in favor by roll call: Maria,
Aye.
Dawn,
Aye.
Jack, Linda,
Aye.
Yeah.
Tim,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
John, and chair votes
Aye.
aye. With respect to new business, before we get to that item, one thing I just wanted to make you aware of. I met with the Finance Committee last Thursday with respect to the articles that we have, the two warrant articles that we have proposed. There were no questions with respect to the second article relative to the funds being received back. With respect to the fund allocations, there were only a couple of questions from Chris Glowacki relative to the history of the funding towards the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. And he had a question of whether or not additional funds could have been awarded to them. And I explained to them that at this point in time, that could not be considered because in fact, it had to be, any requests had to be in front of us at that particular point in time. So generally, they did not make a motion one way or the other because they are waiting. They're going to be reviewing all of the requests for the warrant articles before they make a motion. But it was a very positive reaction and comments with respect to congratulations on the thorough job that this committee does, and also agreed that it was a really good approach to wipe out the obligation of the two outstanding bonds because the funds were available this year so that we would have more funds available in future years for projects as they come forward. That's an update with respect to the my meeting with the FinCom. The last item of business is a discussion with respect to compensation. And I would ask that Glenna and Kathy remove themselves from the meeting or somehow so that the discussion can be held only with the members present. And Glenna, I don't know how to be able to, once we're finished, how to be able to turn this stuff off. But I think what we do is we end up just hitting leave the meeting after finished. Is that right?
That is correct, but I've made you the co-host, so you have the ability to
Terminate.
disconnect everyone
Okay,
all at once.
all right.
Okay?
A power that I have no idea how to use.
Okay, I'm gonna, okay, Kathy is gone, so Ken, I've made you the co-host, so hopefully when I log off, you'll still be on. Can you
Okay,
see that?
I still see you.
Trying to get out of here. Okay, it's not letting me out, so what I'm gonna do, so you can see me leave, I'll leave.
Okay,
Let me just grab my coat, it's cold.
Sign back in or anything?
What's that?
Do we have to sign back in or anything?
No, they've got one more thing to discuss.
Yeah, no, the thing went cold.
Well, it's been in and out of one.
no, Jack, we're just waiting for Glenna to leave, and then we will continue on.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Just,
I am. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Glenn.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Maria had asked us to take a look into the situation with respect to the compensation for Glenna and Kathy. I did, we had not made any adjustments in Glenna's salary in 2016, 2017, in 2018, and in 2019. We did make an adjustment with respect to her salary based on taking into consideration the fact that no adjustments have been made the 3 previous years. Her current salary is $66,544, which translates into slightly more than $32 an hour. I checked with Amanda, the HR professional for the town of Nantucket, and the range for people in the category which Glenna fits in with respect to the town salary scales indicates that the range is between 30 to 32.50 an hour. So she is very close to the top of the range. And Amanda thinks that based on the job description and others in this category that have more responsibility, that she is fairly compensated and does not recommend that we make any adjustment with respect to her compensation. I think that recommendation is appropriate. And so my recommendation would be that based on the adjustment that we made last year and where she stands with respect to the pay scale in terms of the pay scale range for this particular job, that she is appropriately compensated and that we not make any adjustment to compensation for her at this point in time is my recommendation.
Is
And,
that,
Ken, as far as Kathy's concerned, she can't earn anymore because she is retiree from the town and they are limited to how many hours and how much they can earn from the town per year.
That's correct. Sorry, thank you for
I
having.
just have a question on, does Glenna get a cost of living increase? Because other employees in the town do, I assume.
What I spoke to Amanda, and based on the salary history in terms of what she was paid and some of the overtime that she received, it would not be my recommendation to make a change in her compensation at this particular point in time.
have we given her like a Christmas bonus in the past? I just don't recall.
No, we
No.
haven't.
No, you can't do that in the town. This is not an independent situation. We may be independently paying for it through our budget, but we are still part of the personnel bylaws in the town. You
Does
do not give bonuses.
I got it. I got it. Does her longevity with us have anything to do how she moves up in the scale? Because she's been with us, what, 10 years, 15? I don't know.
No, she hasn't been here that long.
No, she hasn't been here that long.
And the range is, this is why I went and talked to head of HR with respect to that, to find out where she is in the range based on what her role is and how that compares to other people in the same category with respect to the level of responsibilities and duties that they have. And people in this category have significant additional responsibilities above what Glenna has. And so therefore, Amanda feels that where she is compensated is very, very fair in terms of her level of years of experience, her level with the organization, and her level of responsibility.
Does anybody else have any questions? Am I the only one that said?
Just for math purposes, I like to dabble in a little math. I don't have any objection to any recommendation that we have looking at where she is compensated right now. But just for purposes of the higher end of $32.50 an hour with people in the position similar to Glenna's, even with a raise of 1.5%, not a bonus, but a raise, looking at the hours, it seems to be that it would work out to be a total of $67,542.16, which would, divided by the consistent hours that were used for the present $66,544, would come out to be $32.48 per hour. So there would be an increase of about 48 cents per hour, just something to chew on.
What is the pleasure of the committee?
Leave it the way it is.
John, can I just get so John, you're saying we should go up 1.5%?
No, you were asking about a bonus, and then you were also asking about if there was an adjustment for cost of living, and I was just making a figure. If there were to be a cost of living increase of 1.5%, then my calculations show that it would be increased her salary from $66,544, an additional $998.16 to equal $67,552.16.
It's one veteran, guys.
So it's about $1,000 increase over the course of the year. And that would put her at the actual top range of $32.48, which is $32.50 an hour.
Which she has reached faster than most town employees, having been a town employee.
Right, but I would go along with that increase because of what I've seen her do in the office in terms of above and beyond, and the fact that she's been with us for so long. She has that background experience, and any question I go in, she can answer for me. So.
Which the board paid for. The board paid for her education, thousands of dollars before you ever came on this board. So she's gotten a lot of benefits out of this board.
Well,
Linda,
why don't you be a little bit more specific? What do you mean thousands of dollars for her education?
We paid for her attending a course at Harvard relative to significantly improve her skills. And I don't remember how much it was, but it was thousands of dollars for her to attend to gain additional experience and knowledge in terms of administrative skills.
It was 15 to 20,000, if I recall.
Could I just ask, when we make a comparison to other positions, what other towns are we looking at or are we saying that that's within the island, other positions similar?
It's within the union contracts and the levels that the town has set up for each entering. She's earning twice as much as anybody entering because she came in before they sort of started changing the steps and they got rid of the steps then. So there's a whole complicated formula as to how much you get for which job and which section of the contracts you're in.
Mhm.
So, I'm not going to quibble about 48 cents an hour, but
Well, my point by mentioning, Mr. Chair, if I may, the point I was trying to make by entering or stating what, if there are other towns, if we're looking at the Cape and, Hyannis, Centerville or something like that, with the cost of living is so much less than Nantucket. And that was my only reason for entering or asking about other towns.
no, the other towns aren't considered at all in the contract. I was on the union contract committee, and no, the other towns are not considered at all. And the cost of living is usually set by an agreement on the contracts with the town, between the union and the town. So sometimes if you're an independent contractor, you can get a 3%, but I think the going rate is about 1.5%, but I haven't looked at it.
So 1.25% is what the union contract was negotiated at.
She's not entitled to get a cost of living, even if it is 1.5.
I'm sorry, Diane, I didn't understand what you said.
I said, is she not entitled to get a cost of living raise just to be able to live here? Even the post office gets a 1.5 cost of living. Is she not?
When I spoke with Amanda, she did not indicate to me that was a requirement. She indicated that the contract negotiations that the town had done with the union was that there would be a 1.25% increase potential with respect to union contracts.
And I think Dawn is either frozen or her hand has been raised for a while.
Okay, Dawn, please.
From a morale perspective, I always like to show people some appreciation with some form of a raise. But I also know that in light of the COVID impacts this year, a lot of non-union town positions are not getting any increases in compensation. So if we're not going to do any bump this year based on the recommendation, I'd just like to talk about ensuring that she does get some kind of a raise next year. We do actually look in some of the union contracts, particularly things like police and fire, we do look at other towns' compensation packages for comparison, because particularly in those positions, those are our competition. And we do take some of those things into consideration.
We've never done it with clerical and the unions. Not non-essential workers, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Ken's got his hand up.
Pardon? Who has his hand up?
Ken. I mean,
Tim.
Tim.
Tim. I can't see him.
Mr. Chairman, thanks. I wanted to ask you a question with regard to the parameters that our committee can work in, and I think we're limited to 5% of our total revenues for admin. Is that correct?
That's correct. When I took a look at the budget that we have approved, if we were to do anything with respect to compensation, we would have to, whatever the dollar amount would be, we would have to make an adjustment. And the two areas, the two areas that looked as that it had potential was professional services. We could take whatever we would need, we would take out of that particular, reduce that budget. And office supplies was the other area that had a potential for being able to take a small amount of money out and reallocate, because the budget allocates the maximum amount of that allocates the maximum.
So have we
utilized? Sorry.
So, Mr. Chairman, just to follow up on that point. So we have the budget submitted to the Finance Committee. We submitted a maximum 5% allocation. So we would have to manipulate within that 5%. Is that what you're saying?
We'd have to manipulate within the maximum amount of money that could be allocated is what we have allocated to administration. And we would have to manipulate within that the budget of that $125,000 in order to be able to figure out where to find the additional dollars that we're going to be allocating to salary. John?
Okay, okay, good.
Just from what I'm hearing, and this has been a special year, COVID, very trying times. Everyone's had to adapt in different ways, including the Zoom searches or Zoom meetings that we've had. I think if there's any time, this would be a perfect time for even some type of increase. And I'm not looking to break the bank, but I would be in favor of a 1.25%, which really works out to a bottom line of $831.80. Added to Glenna's present salary is $66,544. We're looking at a total of $67,375.80. You know, in good faith at this time, I think, especially living on Nantucket, in light of what John was saying too, even though it's not necessarily factored into the equation, the town does look at other towns with the cost of living on Nantucket. I think a modest raise throughout the course of the year for, in essence, over 2,000 hours of $831.80 is just a number of in good faith given towards somebody that is an employee that's been with the town for a while now, and I hope that she'll stay.
Mr. Chairman, we have a problem. Is the warrant article that is already in, because we do a citizens warrant article, does that already specify the line items for salaries?
No. No.
Okay, so we can massage that.
It simply identifies.
And
the amount.
I would agree with John, and I'd like to see that happen. I don't think Glenna is just a clerical employee. She does a lot of work that's beyond clerical, and I'd like to help her at this point in time.
I'm with you. I think it's absolutely necessary to let somebody know who has worked so hard.
Mr.
And
Chair, if
Glenna-
it's appropriate, I'd like to make
I
that
was-
motion.
There's a motion by John to authorize an increase of 1.25% on the current salary of Glenna, with the authority to the chair to working with her reallocate the dollars necessary out of any other budget areas that seem appropriate. Is that an amendment to your motion that you're prepared to make?
Yes.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second,
Maria, is there further discussion on the motion?
Yes,
Tim.
I just wanted to ask, in light of the fact that Maria brought this to the table, Maria, would you like, if John were kind enough to acquiesce, would you like to be the maker of the motion, seeing how this was your idea?
I'm fine, because
Okay.
John's the numbers guy. I'm not. And John, believe me, I thoroughly appreciate the fact that you can give me those numbers. That really helps me.
I just want to point out here, having been a town employee for 25 years, that we do not do merit pay here. So I don't mind giving her the cost of living because I think everybody in the town should get a cost of living, and several are not this year because of the budgetary constraints. But I don't want to present this as if it's a merit pay increase. That is totally and completely inappropriate. And this town does not do that. So I think the comments that were made were great, but that is not why she's getting a cost of living increase. It's because of the difficulty of living on Nantucket in the first place. But I am not going to go along with anything couched because it's merit-based, because she's been with us a long time and she's done a lot of work. That's not appropriate, because there's plenty of town employees, as Tim also was a town employee, knows that there are plenty of people who do above and beyond, okay? They can't.
Linda, if
So
you,
that's
if you
all
will,
I'm saying.
if you look at my motion, it was for a cost of living. Other comments were in support of that. But as I mentioned, and I made specific reference to other towns and what our town and the select board looks at. So it was an increase for the cost of living. That's why I used the number of 1.25%, which we were allowed to do.
And I'm appreciating that, but the comments that preceded it were inappropriate as to why we're doing it.
It's enough discussion. Thank you. Do we have anything meaningful to add that has not already been said? Hearing none, all those in favor by Roll call. Maria,
Aye.
Dawn,
Aye.
Jack, Linda,
Yes.
Kim,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
and chair votes aye.
Did we miss
Is
Jack?
there any other business that anyone would like to raise today before we adjourn for the Christmas, New Year's holiday?
Yay.
Yes, point of privilege, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Savarino.
I'd like to wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. And I hope you're all safe. I look forward to seeing you at our next meeting.
Same to you.
Same to you, Timmy.
Thanks.
Same to all.
All right, all those in favor of adjourning by roll call, Maria,
Aye.
Dawn, Jack,
Aye.
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
John, and chair votes aye.
Aye. Stay safe, everyone.
Right, and
Be
hopefully
safe.
I'll figure out how to turn this machine off.
Have a great Christmas.
Bye now.